We're joined by Liam. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right, pal. You?
Yeah, who's that cock you've got as your fucking thumbnail?
That's Conor Benn just after his beard transplant.
Beard transplant.
That's what he had. He wanted to be more manly, so he had beard transplant, and then started taking a few other things, didn't he?
You mean he was trying to be like his old man?
Must be.
I've been watching it. I've been watching some Conor Benn fights today, right? And you know, like his old man, they're all right hand, aren't they? They've got no jab.
No, just it's funny because I've watched a couple of fights last night. And don't get me wrong, it's exciting to watch, but all they look for is big looping shots. They can't really box, can they?
No, he's got that crouching style where they just come running in with that right hand.
Yeah, it's exciting to watch. He's fast and powerful and stuff, but not. It's not for me. I like a technical boxer.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. I see where you're coming from. Right, let's just start from the beginning then. Right. Obviously they've had the weigh-in, haven't they? But we'll back up a little bit. The selling of the fight with the ambulance, Liam, and Eubank's dad charges 250 an appearance and wants to lift home in a limo and all that nonsense, right? Well, where are we at with this, Ben Eubank here? Because I think Dave Allen, aka the Lazy Rhinos, called it correctly, hasn't it, last few days?
Uh, I think this is how low they've sunk to try and sell this show.
How
Uh,
low?
yeah, it's embarrassing, isn't it? Really,
It's embarrassing for Eddie Hills and
it's
all
got to
them
be.
around it. And the best thing about it is, do you know the media, the talk sport lot, right? And everybody in the old school media, your Bunces and all them, and old school trainers who I know, they're looking at this now and they're asking themselves, what are we a part of here? And
You,
I know,
your mic's gone, pal. Your mic's gone.
has it gone again? I can't believe it. Is that all right now?
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
I don't know if it's because of weather, mate. It's teeming it down here.
yeah, it is here as well.
I've had Yemi on just now in a two-parter, and we couldn't get by 10 minutes without all screen freezing and that. Right,
All right. Everything
is
sounds all
that
right
better?
now. Yeah, it
Yeah,
sounds like you were talking from distance a minute ago.
I know I'm fucking sat an inch from it here. Right, looking at it from the outside, everybody looks a bit embarrassed now. I've given Rhino loads of stick, mainly because he's never in shape, is he? Right, we all agree on that. I don't want to hear about, I've always had a belly ever since I was a kid and all that. Look, it's a load of nonsense. Look in shape, you're a professional athlete. He never had a belly when he started with Big Ron, did he?
No, I remember seeing him in Donny Plant ABC, and he was
Yeah,
ripped to
Ken
pieces
Blood.
then.
Ken
Yeah, he
Blood.
was ripped. Yeah, with Ken Blood. Yeah, he was ripped to pieces then.
Yeah, he was only a kid then, Mo, wasn't he?
Yeah, but it's difficult to go from looking like that to 2 years later being 20 stone.
Yeah.
He's got to put. He must have put 6 stone on in like 2 or 3 years.
Well, this is our, I think when he turned pro, he was about 15 and a half, wasn't he?
I don't even think he was that worry. It might be something like that.
You have to check on Boxer. He might have been 15 and a half. But the point I want to make is, right, I'm giving loads of stick right now. What I'm going to give him praise today, right? He's gone on there on Talksport, but it must have been hard for him, right, to stick it to Joshua and Jake Paul and Crusher Ben and Eubank because obviously he's up Eddie's arsehole, isn't he, right? In his ear hole and up his arsehole. And Eddie won't like that, but he's created this Mr. Humble, Mr. I'm just an average guy. I just tell it straight. And he's got to stick to that now, hasn't he? Right, so he's on Talksport now. It's just come out 7 minutes ago, him and Darren Ben, and he just told them straight. And I think that's refreshing me. That now Simon Jordan obviously needs somebody similar to him on there, so he might get more Talksport gigs. But is this where we're at now? An area level fighter getting the world championship, world champion status late in the show because nobody else wants to come out and tell it straight, do they?
No, I think it's good though. I think it's good that people are speaking truth. It needs to be said. It needs to be said, doesn't it?
Yeah, look, Joshua, if he fights Jake Paul, somebody's going to end up on slab, right? Now, Eddie's not bothered. Eddie's thinking, well, they're saying 70 million, aren't they, to clear 50? Well, whatever. That's 14 million for Matchroom, isn't it? Now, what did they get for Ngannou? 40. So that's
Yeah,
8
something like that. Yeah.
Matchroom. So that's like 22 million in extra commission for Eddie from Ngannou and Jake Paul. If they fight, obviously they have tax on that, but old man's an accountant. Plus Eddie's a tax exile in Monaco, isn't it? And it probably be there'll be all sorts of loopholes find about. The point I want to make is this: they don't care for Anthony Joshua. They don't care for Jake Paul. They don't care for the Lazy Rhino. They care for themselves and getting out of sport altogether with a big fat check for the 50 year they've put in. That's what I think. What do you think?
I do. I think so. I think if Eddie had opportunity, if somebody come and said, right, I'll give you 100 million, this is what you think the company's worth, I'll give you 100 million now, I think he'd snatch their hand off and never to be seen again.
They're talking $1 billion on Netflix Plus, aren't they?
No, there's no chance.
Hey, Man United's not worth $1 billion now, is it? They reckon.
But what Eddie doesn't seem to realise is now he's got Saudis involved. They've picked and prodded what they want. They can choose what they want, and I think that's devalued Matchroom. Do you know what I mean? If they wanted
that's
to,
why that's why they're scrambling. Look, do you know that turkey? Right, he'll be pissing his pants at this lot at the sheer greediness and grubbiness.
Yeah, Mike's got to get him, pal.
Yeah.
No, it's gone.
That better.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, you mate, it's not.
Oh, it's gone again. It's gone again.
Can you hear me now?
It keeps coming in and out.
There's not a lot I can do, mate.
No, it's got. Yeah, that's better. That's better.
Right. I've got canopy blown off. You know that canopy I had on the Mayan thing? It was a fortune.
Oh, yeah.
Blown off, mate, but blown up into air.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, it's bad powerful down here.
Strong winds up there, then, yeah.
It's really, really bad, honestly. Wind's terrible coming off that A38. Right, so point I want to make is this, right? Turkey's looking at this shower of shit, and that's what they are, a shower of shite. And he's thinking to himself, look how greedy these people are, sheer greed. Anthony Joshua there, he's talking, I'm a bad road man, I'm a killer, I'm a dog, I'm a gorilla. He's getting it the big one, yeah? And he's going to fight a small in height and a small in weight cruiserweight, right? Because he didn't walk around more than 14 and a half, that guy. So technically, he's a blown up light heavy. He wants to punish him, a kid who was on Disney Channel when Joshua started his career, right? He wants to punish that kid, right, and bash him up, yeah, in a proper fight for millions and millions of pounds. He doesn't care for boxing, but what I want to know is this. What happened to all roads lead to Undisputed?
Well, all those led to Undisputed if Wilder didn't have a belt. If it was somebody else, if it were Charlie Martin's twin, it'd have been Undisputed. But unfortunately, his arse went, didn't it, when he found out that he'd had to fight Wilder for WBC.
Listen, mate, if it had been, I don't know, Dillian White with that belt or Solomon Dakras, they'd have been queuing up for it, wouldn't they?
Exactly.
It is what it is, but getting back to Eubank situation before we cover the Joshua one. Eubank's made weight, hasn't he, today?
Yep.
So he don't have to pay a fine. The other guy's made weight, and he was heavier than Eubank, wasn't he?
Yeah. Like 6 ounces heavier, weren't he? Something like that.
So he's heavier than Eubank, right? So, but he's still squawking, and his old man, the biggest ponce in boxing after Tony Bellew, his old man is still going on, yeah, Conor's really a welterweight. Let me tell you this, Nigel, thick as 2 short planks, Ben. Conor Benn, last welterweight fight, April 2022. We're nearly 2026. When he fights again, it'll probably be April, May. That'll be 4 years away from welterweight. But let me tell you this. Do you know when Tommy Hearns moved up to middleweight? When Tommy Hearns were fighting Hagler at middleweight, were he squawking about still being a welterweight? Yes or no?
No.
So why do we have to hear it from Crusher? He's not got an area belt, an English belt, a British, a Commonwealth, a European, or a world belt. Why do we have to listen to that absolute knackers from them knackers chatters?
It's because it's a cover story for if they lose. Ah, we lost because we weren't big enough for that weight.
It's bullshit, mate. Kell Brook did the same thing. Oh, I'm really a welterweight when he fought Golovkin. Yeah, but he used to spar Froch and EIS, and you were heavier than Froch then, Kell. It's your own fault you're a fatty in between fights. That's how I look at it. He was
Yeah,
sparring Froch and he had 4 or 5 pound on Froch in weight. Eh? Sparring. But Froch
yeah,
is super middle and he were a welterweight. So there you go.
yeah. It's how they live outside of ring, innit? That's you've got to admire Eubank Jr. He's always in shape, innit? He never looks out of shape.
No, there you go. There you go. But well, how do you see the fight going, mate?
Right, I'm going flicking between two versions in my brain. I can see Eubank outboxing him a lot easier this time. If he's done everything correctly, made weight and everything correctly.
Yeah.
But I've also got this vision of Conor unloading and getting him out in first four.
Have you?
A bit like Liam Smith did with him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
You've got to bear in mind, Eubank's older than me. He's been in some hard fights. It's a struggle that he makes to make weight. We all know that. He's in like a limbo land in between 160 and 160. If I were at 165, something like that, I'd put my house on Eubank. But I think he's 10 years older. He's what 8 or 9, 10 years more experienced, more rounds. It's going to go either one or two ways. I think either Eubank on points or Conor Benn early stoppage.
Yeah.
I think so. I don't. I keep thinking that Conor Benn he's still a young man, isn't he? He's still a young dog. I know he's 28, but there's a massive difference from being 28 and 38.
Oh, tell me about it. Tell me about it. But like I said, I'm fed up of hearing this weight thing. And look, this is how I look at it, right? 1981, 16th of September, Tommy Earns weighed 145 pound. He fought Sugar Ray for the WBC World Welterweight title. Sugar Ray weighed 146. That's 1981.
Yeah,
Forward to 1985, 4 year, Marvin Hagler, fighting Marvin Hagler at 160 pound. So he's put 15 pound on, right? Do you
yeah.
see? Did you hear Tommy Earns going on about that?
No,
You didn't, did you?
not
So
once.
there you go. So why do we have to listen to this shit? Crusher Ben on my children's life will never fight for a world title at welterweight. He has been so many years away from that weight, and he's 30 next year. It gets harder. So why are they spinning that shite? It's lip service just to sell the fight. Like the ambulance. Have you heard all this ambulance stuff that they've been waffling on about? And do you know the
Yeah,
best thing about it is the YouTubers that are allowing them day in, day out. There's 7 or 8 of them we access. And every day they're spinning the same stuff. Their ears must be on fire with it. Surely to God, some of these YouTubers must feel like saying, Eddie, don't you feel like this is wearing a bit thin, this knackers that you're chatting?
this is just how low they've had to sink to sell fight. But have you noticed there's no buzz around the fight, is there, this
None,
week?
none.
There's none at all. Nobody's interested. They're scraping the barrel, trying to sell fight, trying to promote it. Turkey's give 2,000 tickets away to taxi drivers.
What, Uber drivers?
I think the black cab drivers in London. If
It'll
you're
be
if you
Ubers, won't it? Something.
if you can give 2,000 tickets away just like that, what's that telling you about how it's sold? There's still tickets available now.
I've seen it on that website. There were like 22,000 yesterday available.
So it hasn't got the buzz, has it? It hasn't got the hype from
No,
the last fight.
no, it hasn't.
Uh, so all this ambulance stuff and Eubank and Ben Senior squaring up to each other yesterday, doing it's all bullshit.
Listen, mate, they're not going to want to throw a punch. There's too much money at stake. Plus, the pair of them want to be there when the sons get paid.
Yep, I
You
agree.
know what I mean? Because they ain't got a day's work in them then. I remember my
No.
mate putting them on at an evening with the pair of them, and I remember how they acted. They were strutting around like peacocks, and then they got 3.5 grand a piece.
Yeah.
There you go, three and a
No.
half bags each. They were complaining about Buffy and all sorts. Do you know what I mean? My mate went and made them wait while they end for the money.
Did they?
They were whining like little girls. They were like little girls, man. And when he come to pay them, they were panting like dogs. He had them queuing up in line, mate. They were like
All
lambs.
right.
They were like little lambs when he were cashing them up because they knew they were going to get paid. Made them wait an hour. Yeah, shithouses.
Yeah.
Absolute shithouses. But it is what it is. Uh, has anybody mentioned anything about the referee, Liam?
No. Who is reffing it?
Because there were loads of talk about, oh, it's going to be this person, it's going to be that person. Let's see if there's anything on the referee. Carry on. Let's have a look.
Who refereed it last time?
I don't really know, mate. Do you know what? You're right. There's no hype around it like there was last time, is there? Let's have a look here. There you go. About. Right, let's have a look. Don't tell you, not telling you, mate. It'll be if it's Howard Foster, there'll be Ellen, won't there?
Oh, it can't be Howard Foster. Surely to God.
He's like the Jonah of boxing at the moment, isn't he? He's like Albert Trotter.
Yeah, he is, yeah. I
Able
don't know why
seaman
though.
Albert Trotter.
I don't know. I don't know why he's. It'd be all right if he just stayed out of the way. Just do a referee's job and stay out of the way.
Well, it is what
It was
it is.
it was Victor Loughlin who refereed last fight, and I think he did a good job.
Yeah, I did.
I see him again. He should get gig again. I think
Oh,
Victor Loughlin. He should get the gig again.
they won't do though, will they? They'll
Well, they've got
share
to
it
try and
out,
tip it in
won't they?
Connor's. Yeah, they've got to try and tip it in Connor's favour slightly, haven't they?
If it's Howard Foster, there'll be Ellen.
Yeah, it won't be. It can't be.
He's Eddie's
Surely.
in-house guy, though, isn't he?
I know, but then again, Eddie's lead promoter as well, isn't he, on this show?
Is he? I thought it were Ben Shalom.
Well, if you look on BoxRec, it's all changed now. It's lead promoter Eddie Hearn,
Never.
matchmaker Tom Dallas, commission British Boxing Board.
Oh, oh, it's changed, hasn't it? Because it were
It was Shalom before,
Adrian
wasn't it?
Mole, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there's no match make on it, really, is there? I know Joe G's got Mikey Talon on. That's an
Yeah.
easy one for him. Rack Porte, Tommy Wells. That's not a bad fight.
Good fight,
Tommy
that.
Welsh inactive, though, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sam Gilly is Mel Davis. That's not a bad one. Adam Azine, Kurt Scobie. That's a gift. Catchall against Echo Kuzman. That could be fighting now. I've got a Kuzman to do him, me.
Yeah, I have. I like him. Every time he boxes, I really want him to do well. And I always have a bet on him as well.
Yeah.
I do, yeah, because look at that Josh Taylor performance. He boxed out his skin, didn't he?
Yeah. And then we've got Crusher Ben. Right, Crusher Ben. What even what weight is he fighting at him now? Because this is his second one at middleweight, isn't it?
Yeah, but before this is what I mean with BoxRec. Something's been said, something's been done, right? A couple of weeks ago, it's ranked number 2 or 3 in the welterweight division.
Yeah.
You go on BoxRec now. He said he's boxing at super welter and he's ranked 15 at super welter. He ain't boxed at super welter for a year.
Yeah, so how can he still beat rankings? They've got to keep him in there to make him look good. But Josh Kelly's at number 19. I don't see Crusher wanting any Josh Kelly smoke, do you?
Oh no.
Liam,
And he's just been signed as well, hasn't he? Eddie Hearn signed him again.
oh, Josh Kelly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you see Crusher just doing these misfit type fights now? Like this is like a misfit type thing, isn't it? This.
Yeah. Yeah, possibly. But after this, who else could he box, really?
I don't really know, to be honest, mate. A trilogy with Eubank or Josh Kelly.
Yeah, possibly. Money though would be a massive step down money wise, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, they could get Lewis Crocker, but they'd have to go to Ireland and take short end at money, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I think he'd do it though. I think they'd do it to give him a world title.
What, to give him a belt that super great fighters have had in the past, just to gift him it.
Give him a belt, then he can say he boxed Eubank. He made the what's the word? He made it entertaining. He did all this, did what his dad did, Eubank and all that kind of stuff, and he still become a world champion, which is something that Eubank Junior will never do.
Yeah, he'll get that one. Even if Eubank flogs him twice, they'll get. It'll be like John Coffey when he got an email from Bricktop saying, "Yeah, you're now a world champion."
Yeah, exactly like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's what's wrong with sport, Liam, isn't it?
But say he does go back down to welterweight. Say he manages to do it. Who's going to box? Who's going to box for a world title who he can beat? It's not going to be Devin Haney. It's not going to be Brian Norman Jr. So who could he beat?
Exactly.
That's why it's not going to happen.
Well, him and Josh Kelly's a good fight, though, isn't it?
And that's a brilliant British fight again. I mean, he's not going to be a world champion at welterweight. We can almost guarantee that. So why do they not just make some more great British shows, great British fights? I think he'd earn a lot more respect doing that.
Yeah.
I do, yeah, I do. And not only that, it gives him opportunity as a bit of a rebuild after all this controversy that's surrounded him for the last 4 years.
Well, why don't they just come out and give us an explanation how he got clomiphene in his system twice?
Well, people aren't asking anymore, are they?
Well, look, I look at it like this, right? He's had negative PR, but Dennis always used to say to me, "Listen, forget any negative PR. There ain't no such thing. Any PR is good if it's free, and if it's negative, you turn it positive, and if it's positive, you raise a glass to it." That's what Dennis used to say to me.
Yeah.
So that's how I always look at it. That's why when people throw Porky's Corner name about here, there, and everywhere, I love it, mate. I love it. But I look at Conor Benn now, and I think that they were devastated at first when it came out. They tried to deny it. They did the full bag of mashings. They went all around the media outlets and all that, even Piers Morgan. And then I think they realised we're not going to budge public on this. So what we need to do, we just need to go even more villainous. So he upgraded his jewellery, upgraded his cars, and he just started behaving like a little weapon. Do you know what I mean? He had a stupid beard transplant. Every time he opens his mouth, he's going on about wealth and money and all that. Just a bit like his old man used to do. Although he's ended up potless, his old man, hasn't he? So
totally.
Same as other one as well. English, whatever he's called. See, whatever he's calling himself. That cock who walks around with a monocle. You know what I mean? And a sugar cane or whatever he's got in his hand as a walking stick. Look, bottom line is this: it's about putting bums on seats. It's the entertainment business as well, and all they're doing is acting out parts. Yeah, you got a fine, and I bought a roller with it. Oh, brilliant, brilliant.
But what annoys me is, sorry, pal. What annoys me is that bloke says, "Yeah, you got a fine." Sorry, Ben says, "I've got a fine and I bought a roller out of it." But Eubank can just turn around and say, "Yeah, but I won. I walked away with a win." I know what I'd prefer if it were about legacy for me and about being rated one at best out of Britain. Forget the Rolls Royce. Give me the win every day of the week.
Yeah,
that goes to show what he's there for. He's there for money, innit?
Of course he is, yeah, but like I said before, and I'll say it again, you know that Echo Kuzman?
Yeah.
He would write Conor Benn off, and it would be a serious beat down. It'd be like Froch Boutte.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Or it'd be like one of my other favourites, Froch Brian McGee. Did you see that?
Yeah, I've seen it, years ago.
He shot his mouth off. Brian McGee, I'm an Olympian. I'm a dog. I'm a bad man. I'm from Ireland. He get it the big, and I'm a southpaw, beat Olympics, and British Commonwealth, and he won a WBA regular, didn't he? He done all that. I don't think regular will be for. I think he got that after Froch done. Froch went in and wrote him off, mate. But I think he put him down about 4 times in 11 rounds.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But he was a good fighter. But the point I want to make is Crusher's not Carl Froch. He might want to be, but he isn't. Froch had a jab. Crusher ain't got a jab. Rhino called it straight. He's not got a jab, and his old man never had a jab. He's got a beard transplant and a load of tattoos on his neck, and that's it. Crusher's story, the end.
Yeah. You know what I've just been thinking? If he loses this fight, and he drops back down to welterweight, if he can, I reckon they'll chuck him in with Harlem Eubank and carry this story on.
Well, you won't put it past this lot, would you? Him and Harlem
No.
Eubank at 147. Do you know what I
You
mean?
don't,
He could say, I put dints in your brother Chris and I got robbed by judges and an old man did first one, but now I'm going to put a beating on you. That's what it'll be. These
yeah,
people cannot help themselves. You could make a permutation of about 30 or 40 fights between 13 or 12 fighters. Eddie can just keep writing scripts. Writing the scripts is where it's going to come from for Eddie now. That's what, and creating characters, because it's very similar to what I do. The scripts and the one-liners and the gags that I use and the nicknames I give people, it has to come from the writing. Do you see where I'm coming from?
yeah,
For people to watch this channel and keep it afloat, and that's same for them, but on a bigger scale. Do you see where I'm coming from?
yeah. It's all script in it. It's all fake. That's the problem. It's like wrestling.
Yeah, well, that's where they're dragging this now, Liam. And the best
Yeah,
thing about it is the media are allowing them to do it. But you know, once we end up with a body on the slab, touch
yeah,
wood, it doesn't happen. But once we end up with one on the slab, that's when you're gonna see it all change. You know, like when Michael Watson got injured.
yeah,
Michael Watson got injured. Barry Epstein weren't so loud, were he? He stayed in background, didn't he?
yeah.
He
I
got
know.
it piped down for a bit because they changed it from 168 to 164. And Michael Watson, that £4 would have made a difference. Do you see it?
Oh, massive
Because he
difference.
got
Yeah,
all weight at last round, didn't he?
yeah,
He got knocked
yeah,
out, didn't he? 11 4 12. Was it 12th round he got knocked out in, didn't he, at the beginning?
yeah. But like you said, that £4, that's difference between life and death around brain, fluid around brain.
Of course it is. If you could get through a fight and you're weighing 164 and you get to beginning at 12th and get knocked out, that £4 on you, you're not getting knocked out, are you?
No, sad,
So why
sad,
would you
sad.
put a 164 clause in for a 168 fight?
In
And
Eubank's
did
favour.
Eddie Hearn learn anything from his father? And he did the same last time with Eubank. These promoters, these Eddie Hearn's from privilege. He don't care for Chris Eubank Jr. Just like his dad didn't care for Chris Eubank Sr. and Michael Watson. They care for money. Do you see where I'm
Yeah,
coming? They didn't care for Stephen Lee, that snooker player that got a 12-year ban. But they cared for John Higgins, who were world number one when he got busted for cheating, didn't they? And taking bribes on film. News at Will busted him. He got out that, didn't he? But Stephen Lee got a 12-year ban, didn't he?
yeah.
See where I'm coming from? They change like the wind, these people. I've got no time for them. They are absolute scumbags. Scumbags. That's what they are. Chris Eubank Jr.'s got it correct. Eddie Hearn's not in that ring taking them blows, is he?
Oh no, well that's. I listened to your video with Big Ron. No, the old one that you put out again the other day,
Yeah.
and you said exactly the same thing to him. You're not getting it ring taking blows.
You mean when he were having a dig at Clinton?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, well, every time I'm not slagging Dennis because I've seen him the other day, and I've got time for Dennis. But every now and then he'll always come out with something like, "Yeah, Clinton." I'll say Clinton did well, didn't he, Dennis? And he'll go, "Yeah, but who got him there?" And I say, "Yeah, but you weren't taking blows, were you?"
that's
He'll
exactly
just
what he said. Yeah,
all Dennis can say is, "Yeah, well, I will put it go up," which is fair enough. But he's not in the ring taking whacks to head like Clinton. Worry, do you see where I'm coming from? Now, I don't know if Chris has told us because you're training at Chris's gym, might train fighters there. Chris will tell you I'm always for the fighters.
yeah,
I've been in that office many times when him and Liam Cameron have been sat there and Dennis has gone, right, you're not getting that much for that fight because it didn't just, this is Monday morning, because it didn't do so good. This is what you're getting. And they just go, yeah, yeah, yeah. He's going, aren't they, Chris and Liam? They're fucking horizontal, aren't they? But I always
yeah,
used to, after, I'd always say, Dennis, you can't do that, can you? And I say, yeah, I can. We had a deal and blah, blah, blah. And it didn't, ticket deals and all that. He knows
yeah,
my opinion on him because I always rib him about it. You don't mean he's a bad guy, but in boxing, you've got to have your wits about you. But it works both ways, When you've got people like Liam Cameron failing dope tests and not telling Dennis. I mean, Dennis
yeah,
could have instructed his lawyers to deal with it, couldn't he? Because he has him on a retainer all year round. But Liam kept his gob shut. about the Sheedy cocaine test. And then once he got done for the Gemman fight, the Sheedy one came out. It all come out, didn't it? And then he was like,
But
ooby dooby dooby doo. And then Dennis
yeah.
went, do you know what? You lied to me. You done washed his hands. And I can understand that. Because she's only so many times you can take an horse to water. You can't teach it how to drink it, can you?
No, but you're right where you're coming from. You've got to, if you're involved in boxing, you've got to be behind the fighters because all the fans see is them getting in the ring and having a boxing match. It can end in one round, it can end in 12s in a decision. But what they don't see is all the sacrifices that goes on outside of the ring. The
Exactly.
weeks of dieting, running at 5 o'clock in the morning, training 3 times a day, and having if they're not an Olympian, they'll be working as well as doing all that training. So they need as many people behind them as possible.
Well, if you're talking Liam Cameron, he didn't do no running in the morning. He never had a fucking job.
No, well, I'm not talking about. I'll tell you what I'm talking
Clinton,
about.
what you on about? Yeah, plasterer.
Yeah,
8 in the
yeah,
morning while 5 at night. Run in the morning, plaster all day, and spar order strength and conditioning at night. Clinton, he was British Commonwealth European champion, WBC #1. And Dennis says, right, you got your sponsor now. You don't need to be a plasterer. He went, yeah, all right, then easy going. You see where I'm coming
yeah,
from?
yeah. But that's the proper working class British fighting man,
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Clinton.
But you don't
And
get
it is
that now, do you?
no, you don't. We were talking about it the other day, me and a pal. You and I were boxing, and especially in Clinton's area and stuff. How many kids had come in off at the street looking scruffy shoes and an old t-shirt? Everybody looked a tramp. And then nowadays, kids at 10, 12 year old, they're walking around in £200 trainers. They ain't got it hard anymore, have they?
No, they're not. That's correct. That's correct. I mean, I look at it like this. Like when I don't always go back to this, but I remember being in office up there at Attercliffe, and this black Mercedes, one of them like with sliding door when you can get loads of people in them.
Yeah,
Like a minibus, but like a big SUV people carrier thing.
yeah, I know what you mean.
Pulled
Yeah,
up, and they all got out here, and I thought, who's this lot here? They all had matching tracksuits on. So Michelle buzzed them in. They all come upstairs. It was like David Howe, 6'8" heavyweight.
yeah, I know. Yeah,
Who Dave Allen flattened twice as a pro.
yeah.
So he walked in. He had manager, consultant, masseur, nutrition guy, and a strength and conditioner. I've never seen so many people in my life. And he was like a low-level journeyman. And they were talking telephone numbers and this and that, and he had sponsors galore all the way up front of the track. He's had all these sponsors and that, and he was absolute shite. He couldn't punch
Didn't
his way
he?
through a wet paper bag. You what?
Didn't he get banged out in his second fight? I think.
He got banged out by Rhino, didn't he? Fucking twice.
He made his debut in 2008. He won by first round knockout. His next fight, he boxed a journeyman, David Ingleby, who at the time was 5 wins, 22 losses, and 1 draw, and got knocked out in a minute and 2 seconds.
Well, when
David out.
Rhino done him, he poleaxed him. Rhino.
Yeah, he did. But I remember David Howe as an amateur, and he was a brilliant amateur because he was so big.
Well,
But as a pro,
it was designed for him, wasn't it?
yeah, it was
Amateur.
perfect for him. Yeah,
And
yeah,
that's why I had all them spots. 14 and 11 his record ended up. But
yeah.
who's his best win?
His best win. God knows, I don't even know who's beat.
Well, he's not his best win over a guy with a winning record is Jay McFarlane.
Yeah,
Two,
that
two
Scottish
and
kid.
one. That's it. He ain't got a win. Any other win over a guy with a winning record? He beat Jay McFarlane, who were 2-1. Then he beat him again on points when he were 3-2.
And then he
That's
lost his. Then he had trilogy, didn't he? And got knocked out in the first round.
by who?
Jay McFarlane knocked him out in the first
Oh,
round.
is that was his last fight, wasn't it? Yeah,
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
That was his last fight. So that's that. He had on a losing streak there. It took 5 on trot.
Look at this. Nathan Gorman, KO round 1. Dave Allen, KO round 2. Dubois, round 1. Cornish, round 1. Cash Ali, round 2. Dave Allen, round 4. Alex Dickinson, round 4. And Jay McFarlane, round 1. To me,
They put him in with John Coffey.
yeah, you can remember that. I can remember that fight.
Fucking wow.
I know.
Unbelievable. Anyway, do you want to go on to part 2 and we'll let rip on the main course?
Yeah, all right, pal. I'll be there in 2 minutes.
See you in 2 minutes. Pop, pop,
Right.
bang. Thanks for liking and subscribing and leaving a comment. Yes, those people complaining about the Max interview. Yeah, well, we've got massive wins down here, haven't we? And it just kept cutting out and that. But I've got 2 brand new microphones here, but I've now decided to order one of them that you pin to your body because I'm going big time, Charlie Big Spuds. Go on, Booyaka. I'll see you on part 2 where we're going to chat some heaviness. We're going to get heavy.